The Super Mario movie is out, and it has been really funny to see people get mad on Twitter for someone having the quote-unquote wrong opinion.
What? It's just an ordinary Krabby. Oh my goodness!
Anyway, the Mario movie. It was pretty alright. There was some stuff I liked and some stuff I didn't like, so let's go through it like usual. First, we'll start with the good stuff. Most of the performances weren't actually as bad as I was expecting them to be, which, in fairness, may not have been a super high bar to begin with.
Even though this is a Mario movie, Donkey Kong will also be making an appearance.
Chris Pratt was fine, not anything amazing. Seth Rogen was kind of funny because he did the laugh. Charlie Day and Keegan-Michael Key were fine. Surprisingly, the person that bothered me the most in this movie was Anya Taylor-Joy, but I'll get back into that later. This is probably pretty obvious, but for me, Jack Black obviously had the best performance in the movie. I also overall just liked Bowser as a character. He's just a lonely incel, except it doesn't feel quite as weird as the internet ones. Peaches went crazy, I won't hear anything otherwise. A lot of the action scenes are pretty fun. There's one that's particularly pretty well done, and that's the Mario Kart scene. The final ending battle is also pretty good with Mario and Luigi. The way the power-ups and everything are implemented into the Mario movie universe works really well too. Also, making Mario not like mushrooms is kind of a fun character quirk. I also kind of like that Donkey Kong and Mario had a sort of friendly rivalry, and that's all I really got for the stuff that I really enjoyed, or was alright with. Time for the stuff I didn't like as much. Now, when I said earlier that Anya Taylor-Joy's was probably the worst performance in the movie, I don't mean it was completely horrible throughout the entire thing, but there were definitely scenes where there was a lot more needed from her performance that she just did not deliver on. Like, there's a scene at the beginning of the movie where she's trying to reassure all her people in this big room, but it sounds like she's talking to like a small crowd of people. It just didn't really do it for me. But like I said, she wasn't horrible throughout. At the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where Mario has to parkour over walls and fences and stuff, and eventually he gets into like a construction site and he's parkouring through all of that, and I thought that would be some sort of like setup for like him kind of being like a natural at parkouring later in the movie, but then he ends up just being really bad at it and has to train anyway, so that kind of bothered me. I usually like the score for the movie a lot, but there were parts where they decided to use pop culture music and it was just fucking bizarre. Like when they first go to Jungle Kingdom, when they're driving in, it's playing Take On Me by Aha, or at the end of the movie they use Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra and it leads into the score, and that just bugged me. Just have it be purely the score. This is the Super Mario movie. I don't care about the Electric Light Orchestra right now. I also didn't expect Luigi to play such a big part in the ending of the movie, and that was fine if you wanted to do that. But since they did do that, I would have preferred that we spent a little more time exploring Luigi and him being afraid and having to like overcome his fears and stuff like that. Maybe have some scenes of like Bowser making fun of him for being scared or something. I don't know, maybe these aren't the best ideas for how to explore, but what they did in the movie didn't really work because they just didn't really try at all. He has like a couple scenes and then we just forget about him. Overall, it was a pretty decent movie. Some people are saying it's the best Illumination movie. Once again, not a very high bar to clear. I'd still say I like Despicable Me a little bit more just because of the heart that movie has. But really, this probably is something that's going to come down a bit more to your own personal preference. Overall, it was pretty fun, but not amazing. I'm kind of in between a 5 and a 6, so I'll be nice and give it a 6 out of 10. Have a good night, everybody.
Peaches, 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 peaches.